students, welcome to business studies class. Now today we will discuss the last chapter in case of first part in business studies, that is controlling. So far we completed, we started with the management function, that is planning, and before that you have studied two other chapters in case of first part, that is principles of management or the significant features of management that you have studied, then business environment we studied. Then we started with the management, that is the functions of different functions of management. Function starts with planning. Then we discussed about organizing. In planning chapter, how to plan in order to run the particular business, what are the necessary things we need to plan in order when we start the business. Then in next chapter comes about, it's about organizing, means how we arrange the things in order to reach what plan we set. How according to that, in order to reach that plan, what are the things are necessary and how we need to arrange these things. It might be the physical resources or any other resources like financial or human resources. Then we started studying about the staffing. In that particular chapter, we studied it's how many manpower is necessary, means how many employees are necessary in this particular organization, and what kind of qualities or which kind of employees are necessary to run the business, and how to recruit them, and how to provide training to them, and how to manage them in the organization. So that we studied in case of staffing. Then after studying staffing, then we put towards the directing. Just now which chapter we completed, it's a bit vast chapter, directing. There we studied a different element of directing. What are the different ways to direct our employee? It might be a supervision by monitoring the employees, or it might be a leadership by leading the particular group, or it might be motivation means by motivating the people, or the last one, it is communicating. So there we studied those four factors as elements of directing. So in the directing chapter, we studied how to direct the people in order to move towards the organizational goals. And today we have the last chapter, that is controlling. So when we speak about controlling, we think that it's a last function of the management, but we should not think that it's a last function of management. We need to think that it controls that particular cycle. Once controlling comes, yes, we need to understand it completes that particular cycle, and one more cycle will begin. See, controlling is not possible if there is no planning function. Firstly, we need to plan them. What we plan, according to that, in this particular function, they will control. So what is that controlling? What this particular process it does? We'll see in this particular chapter. So according to your syllabus, controlling is ensuring the activities of in an organization are performed as per the plan. Means it will check them, it will check, or it will ensure, means it will make that activities to move in a what way they have planned. In that particular way, it will make that function to move. So it ensures the activities of the organization performed as per the plan. It will see to it, means it will check there whether what we have planned during the planning process, according to that whether our plans are moving or actions are going. If actions are not going, means if they are taking any deviations, means we have set them. So this is the plan in this particular month, or for this year, by the end of this year we need to reach the profit of this, or by the end of this month this is the sales we need to reach. So we set the target, or we can say that target as plan. So we set that. Controlling process, what it does, it will check, or it will keep an eye upon them, and it will see we have planned this is our plan, whether we are moving towards that, according to the plan whether we are moving. If we are moving, okay, it will continue with that. If we are not moving, means in between if we are deviating to some other plans, or if we are not going according to the plan what we said, then controlling process it will take its part over there in order to make us to move according to the organizational plan. We need to move according to the organizational plans. So this is about controlling, how it works in a particular organization. So main the function of the controlling, it has to keep an eye upon the organization activities so that the activities should move according to the plan, what we planned in case of planning process. So the process of controlling, it is incomplete if there is no planning function. So process of controlling is incomplete if there is no planning. If there is planning, then only the function of controlling will arise. The main function of controlling is it has to check whether we are moving according to the plan or not. Now, next we will see what are the importance or significance or why this planning process is necessary. Controlling process is necessary in a particular organization. Now, if we look into that, we can see first one, accomplishing organizational goals. As I said in the beginning, when we start the organization or when we start any of the project, we set some of the goals there or we set some of the targets there. For example, we may set the target as we need to reach the sales or we need to reach the production of 1,500 units we need to produce. By that, this is the sales target. See, there will be different departments in the organization. It might be the production department, or it might be the human resource department, or the sales department, or marketing department, HR department. So different departments will be there. So each department will be having its own target. One goal will be there as an organizational goals. Organization goals might be we need to reach. See, there will be organization and different departments will be there. And organizational goal is we need to reach particular amount of profit. Some amount will be there. We need to reach that profit. That is the whole organizational goals. It comes to all the department also, whole organization. Then each department will be having, it might be the production department, or it might be HR department, or research and development department, and marketing department. So each department will be having its own separate target. The production department may be having, we need to produce by the end of this month, we need to produce 1,500 units we need to produce. And sales department, they may be having by the end of this month, we need to sell there, our sales should reach 1,500 units. It's their sales target. And research and development department might be having, we need to by the end of this month, we need to add some other features into our product. We need to research there and we need to study what is the expectations of the people. According to that, we need to add some other features into our product, or we need to change this design into another design which is very attractive. That might be their target. And HR department may be having their own target. We need to employ this kind of employees. They should possess this kind of new skills when we recruit the people. So each department will be having their own targets, and as a whole there will be one organizational target. So when we will be having so many targets in the organization, so it is a function of the controlling process or the controlling department who is responsible for that particular process. Mainly a manager will be responsible, or he exercises that function, which one? Controlling. So when he will be having so many responsibility, it's his duty, he need to check there whether we are having these many targets. Now this is our target, or this target we might have set in the process of planning. While planning in the initial stage, we might have set this the target. Now we know that this is our target. I know that this is my organization target. Now his duty is he should keep eye on each of these targets, and we need to check whether these people are moving in order to reach that target, whether they are concentrating towards that target, or whether they are putting their effort to reach that target. If they are putting their effort to reach that target, it's okay, fine, let them go with that plan. We can understand that yes, they are going according to the plan. Or if in between, if he gets to know that they are not moving according to the plan, they are deviating their concentration, or they are not going according to what we are directed here, they are deviating from our direction or our plan. If so, then he has to guide them properly how to reach the goal or controlling, who is responsible for controlling process, his part is very important, because we set plan, we organize or we recruit people, everything is okay, but we need to keep a check on that plan, what we have implemented there we need to keep an eye, otherwise everything will go waste. So that is the first one, accomplishing organizational goals. So he is the person who is responsible for controlling, he has to exercise his duty properly. So it is very important to reach the organizational goals. Now as I said, most of the time the controlling is performed by manager. If we take institution, here it will be performed by a principal. See, controlling process is very important in case of hospital or in case of institution or in case of organization. Their controlling process is very important. Now, second one, judging accuracy of standards. See, it is very important. Now, sometimes we find that when we check that whether they are reaching the target or not, sometimes they may fail to reach the target, or sometimes in between they may deviate somewhere else. Means they may move away from the target, or in what way we directed, they may not go in that way. So in such case, sometimes we need to check our standards. What plan or what target we set. Standards are nothing but it might be targets or goals which we need to reach, or it might be our plans, that we call it as standards. Sometimes what happens in the sense, we need to check our standards. If they fail to perform this particular action, means it's not every time that it's a failure of our employees. They did not listen to us, or they did not understand the target. It's not every time it's a failure of employees. Sometimes we might have set their wrong standards. Our standard, the accuracy, it is not accurate. It is not proper standard for this employees and for this organization. We need to check the standards. Yes, we said by the end of this year we need to reach this amount of profit, or by the end of this month we need to produce 1,500 units. Now we need to check. If in between, if we find that yes, they are not reaching their target, means we need to check. We need to check there what target or goals or the standards what we set, whether it is reasonable or whether it is accurate, whether our employees, whether they are able to reach them, and what time we provided to them to complete that task, whether it is reasonable time, within that whether they can complete this task or not, whether we need to make anything we need to alter or not in case of our standard, whether we need to change anything, whether we need to remove anything or add anything to the standards. We need to check whether we need to revise our standards, or whether we need to remove something, or whether we need to add something to our standards. So if we find that yes, we need to edit our standard, we need to make some changes in case of our standards, means we need to make some changes in the standards, then we will understand, then our employees, they may go according to the plan what we set not to reach that. So second one, that is judging accuracy of standards. We need to check once after setting the standards, when employees are performing, if we get to know that they are not according to the plan, then once we need to check our standards, what standards or what target goals we have given, whether it is a reasonable, whether they can reach within this time, or we need to make any changes with the standards. That is a second one. Making efficient use of resources. This is obviously, if we think any of the employees, if they think there is a person who is always keep up one eye upon us, or if manager, if he is watching us or monitoring us, if we get to know, then we will be very aware of him, or we will be very aware of controlling process. So obviously there will not be wastage of any kind of resources, or there will not be duplication of work. Work will go according to the plan, and there will be efficient use of available resources. So it is possible only in case where our controlling process, if it works properly. If our manager, if he controls his organization properly, then there will not be any kind of wastage of resources. There will be variety of resources in the organization. It might be human resources, or it might be material resources, or technological resources, or financial resources. Nothing properly, if we have proper control, then there will not be any kind of wastage or duplication of work. Then improving employee motivation. Improving employee motivation. How? By controlling we can improve the motivation. Now, we need well in advance we need to inform our employees so that this is your work. There should be clarity with them. They must be having clarity about the work what they are going to do and which kind of work they are doing here, and what if they do like this, what kind of reaction they may get from the employer, higher authorities, and when their work will be appreciated, when their work will be appreciated, or when they can get a reward, or when they can get incentives. So this should be what tell to them well in advance. This we need to convey to them well in advance. Then they will get to know how we need to work. If we do like this, what kind of benefits we can get. If we reach our target, when we can get incentives, when we can get appreciation, or when we can get rewards. Then if we inform them all these things well in advance, they will get motivated and they will try to put their best effort, or they will work there efficiently, because they know that what if they do this, what they will get, when they will get the appreciation, or when they get variety of incentives. So that is the next step, that is improving employee motivation. How we can improve employee motivation through the process of controlling. Then ensuring order and discipline. Order and discipline means, see, in order to bring discipline, controlling process is very, very important. That is mainly, as I said, it is in case of institutions or in the organization. If we know that someone is watching us or someone is monitoring us, then definitely there will be good discipline in that particular organization or good discipline in the particular institution. If we are not aware of that someone is observing us or someone is watching us, we will not be having that kind of discipline. Discipline means that we should be punctual to our work wherever we are coming, and whatever rules and regulations they already said, that rules and regulations we need to follow. Order means same thing, order and discipline. Order means we need to obey what our higher authorities if they are saying about work. We need to obey to them, and we need to follow the rules and regulation. Then only we can see some kind of discipline in the organization. So in order to bring discipline or order in the particular organization, controlling process is very, very important. If we think that if no one is observing us or no one is watching us, then there will not be, we will go to waste of our resources also. It might be financial or other material kind of resources, and there will not be any kind of motivation also, and there will not be discipline in the organization. Workers may not listen to their superior if they think that none of them are observing us. If they think that yes, if there is a strong controlling function in that organization, then obviously they can bring some kind of discipline in that particular organization. Then ensuring coordination in action. Coordination in action is very, very important, because as I said, there will be two kinds of target will be there. One target, it is related to what whole organization. As a whole organization, there will be one particular target. It might be reaching the organization goals. Then as I said, there will be different departments will be there, and each department will be having its own target. So what happens to the different departments? If we speak about different departments, they have to reach their individual department target also, and at the same time they need to concentrate towards the organizational target also, because organizational target, it is very, very important. It is more important than their departmental targets. Now what happens in the sense, when they will be having different departments, they will concentrate more on their departmental targets, because and at the same time there will be much competition between the different departments, that we need to reach our target early as possible, and before these people reaches their target, we need to reach the target. So such kind of mindset will be there in between those different departments. But it is the duty of that manager who controls the whole process. He has to make them to understand that more than their departmental targets, the organizational target as a whole, it is very, very important. But in order to reach that, firstly he need to bring coordination whatever target they have set for their different department, yes, they have to reach their what departmental targets, and at the same time they have to give more concentration towards this organizational target. Now, in order to reach their departmental targets, there should be a better coordination among the departments. Within the department, there should be a better coordination. They can reach that easily. Production department employees, they should be better coordinated within their department, so they can reach the target. Same way, the different HR, research and development, marketing department. Within their department, obviously they will be having better coordination because they all are doing the same kind of work. Now, in order to reach the organizational target, what happens in the sense, it's very important to bring better coordination between the departments. So, if all the departments, if they get coordinated and then if they work, then definitely the task of that particular organization reaching so and so profit, it will be very easy. So, what happens? So, there should be a proper controlling process. The person who is responsible for controlling, he has to exercise his function properly, means he has to control them properly. Then only he can bring a better coordination between the department, and if he brings that coordination between the department, then it is helpful to move together, it is helpful to move towards the organizational goals or the organizational target. So, these all are the necessary. In all these cases, it is very essential, the function of controlling. There should be a function of controlling in order to reach all these targets, in order to reach all these targets, or in order to perform all these functions. Which are those functions? First one, in order to reach the organizational goals, it is very important. And second comes the judging accuracy of standards. Yes, we need to know that we have to check whether they are reaching the goals or not. When we check that, if we find that they are not reaching, then once again we need to check our standard. What standard we set or what target we set over there, whether there is any mistakes in that, or it's not accurate to our employees to complete within this prescribed time. Then making efficient use of resources. We should not waste any kind of resources there. Then improving employee motivation. Then ensuring order and discipline. Then ensuring coordination in action. We need to bring coordination there. Whatever function we are performing, we need to bring there better coordination. Now, after seeing what is controlling and why it is important, now if we observe here, we have some limitation in this particular function, that is controlling. We can see some of the limitations there. Now, we look into that. What are these limitations? There comes first one, difficulty in setting quantitative standards. Now, what happens in the sense, in case of difficulty in setting quantitative standards means it is some case. Now, for example, as I said, here we can say we need to, by the end of this month, we need to complete the production of, or we need to, with the sales or production, we need to reach the target of 1500 units. We need to produce. By the end of this month, we need to produce 1500 units. We need to produce. Now, it is very easy to set the target in case of when it is a quantitative standards, 1500. It is expressed in numbers. Quantitative means which we express in numbers. In case of production, or in case of sales, or in case of profit. But there are some other factors where we need to reach the target. For example, we can speak about the employee discipline, employee morale, or employee behavior. In that case, can we set the standards? Can we set like this kind of standards, quantitative standards? In case of sales or in case of production, we can set the standards quantitatively. But in case of employee discipline, in case of employee honesty, or in case of employee morale, or in case of employee punctuality, can be set by the end of this year, this employee should reach 56% of standard. 56% of standard of behavior, or 56% of standard of honesty or punctuality. Can we set that? No, we cannot set. In case of some aspects, we cannot set their quantitative standards. So, controlling, it fails to set standards in some of the aspects. For example, in case of employee behavior or employee honesty or employee punctuality. So in such case, we cannot set quantitative standards. We cannot set standards in case of numbers. We can observe that person. Yes, he improved. He improved a lot. We can say. But we cannot set quantitative standards like this. Yes, he reached 56% of punctuality or honesty. That we cannot say or we cannot set. And we cannot check how we check in this case. It is very easy to check whether he reached or not. So it is difficult in setting quantitative standards, means it is difficult in setting standards in numbers in case of some of the aspects in case of controlling. So that is the first limitation. Then it will control on external factor. Yes. Now controlling process or the manager, he can control his organization or whatever factors related to his organization. It might be setting the standards or reaching the standards or what standards, what kind of standards and resources or about their discipline or about their morale. He can look into them. But there are some external factors which affect the organization. For example, it might be a government policy, or it might be they may set some of the tax policy there or import export policy, whatever policy set by the government or whatever the changes takes place in case of environment. For example, now we are facing the COVID-19 time. It is unexpected situation. These are the external factors. In case of external factors, there will not be any kind of control. It will control on the external factor, which is outside the business environment or business organization, whatever factors, that those factors affect the organization, but a manager or the person who is responsible for controlling, he cannot have any control on that such kind of factors, such kind of external factors. So there will not be any kind of control, or there will be very little control on the external factor. He can have control the factors which will be within his organization. So that is one more limitation in case of control. Then resistance from employees. This obviously will be there when we introduce something, when we introduce anything new, or when we introduce any new policies or new technology, or if you are very strict, if your manager is very strict there, he has a very good controlling process over there, then there will be obviously resistance from employees. Means they will oppose that. Whatever you will say or whatever you will draft there, whatever you will say there, they will oppose. So there will be obviously resistance from your employees. And controlling process, the process of controlling, it is very difficult. We know that if it's a large organization, then only these controlling process or planning what staff in this kind of functions will run properly, and these kinds of responsibility or different employees will be there to look into this. But if it's a small organization or any other kind of medium scale of organization, it is difficult for them in order to offer, because it's a costly process. We need to invest there in order to have this kind of functions in the organization. So it's a costly process. So these are these are 4 limitations of controlling. That is, it is difficult in setting quantitative standards in some cases, like employee morale, employee behavior or honesty related to his behavior, what we are checking. Little control on external factor. He can have better control the factor which is within the organization but not outside the organization. Resistance from employees means there will be oppose from your employees for the process of control. Then last one is a costly process. So this is about the controlling, what is controlling and why it is important in the organization, and limitations of the organization. I think with this we can wind up with today's session, and in tomorrow's session or in the next session we will see some other topics related to control.